Hello everybody watching this video. I'm gonna show you how to be happy. Okay? I can't just tell you to be happy and you'll be happy, you know? Because you have to work for it. Okay? First, I'm gonna tell you, just kind of an overview. When you're trying to fall asleep, you don't just fall asleep. You don't just, wait for the perfect moment to fall asleep, right? You pretend to fall asleep and then you fall asleep. And that's basically how finding true happiness comes from. Basically, acting happy, and then you actually are happy. That means coming to school, coming to work with a happy mood, a good mood where people can talk to you, people can, where people know they can talk to you, and that your day will get better. Yeah, their day will get better too, Instead of putting on a sad face, waiting for that perfect moment where everything will get better, waiting for time to heal. But you can't do that, because the more time you're wasting your life being sad, life is way too short to be sad, because God didn't give you time on this earth to be sad, your mom didn't push you out of her womb for 9 months straight, for you to be sad, because they want you to be happy, they want you to find happiness in life, they didn't put you on this earth to suffer, they didn't put you on the earth to cry, to mourn, they put you on the earth to be happy, and life is too short to be sad. And this means, doing things that you like, even though it's hard, ignoring the pain, ignoring the beating, the void in your heart, even though it's hard, because, it was difficult for me when my girlfriend broke up with me, she cheated on me, she hurt every part of my body, but I still came to school that day with the brightest face on the brightest brightest smile on my face, calling my friends, dapping them all up, saying hi, hey, saying what's up, and joking around with them, even though it hurt so much, but when I was joking around with them, I felt so much happier. I felt alive. I felt, like that void in my heart was being filled with something that made me happy, just being my friends, and being happy, for you could be anything different, for me, it's breaking out, for me, it's praying, for me, it's, playing piano, playing against my friends, but maybe for you, it could be anything else, like reading, stuff like that, or like sewing, anything, but you just have to find happy for yourself. You can't let other people define if you're happy or not, because you're giving them power that they don't deserve, Don't let people add to your worth, because you know your worth. Your worth is is about what you do. And the only way you can make yourself happy is making that worth, is making your life worth it. And that's only about it depends on what you do, because you don't wake up sad and your whole day's gonna be sad, you don't wake up, you don't try to fall asleep by crying, you want to be happy all the time, because because when God asks you, when you go to heaven, he asks you, were you happy with your life, was your life meaningful to you, and I don't want you to lie, I want you to say yes, if truth, without lying, because I know, because I know that your life can be happier, I know he doesn't want you to spend your whole life crying, because there's so much out there to live. There's so much people to meet, places to go to, It's all made by God, and you need to cherish it, There's so much out there that's waiting for you. You have time, okay? Happiness comes from you. It doesn't come from, money. It doesn't come from greed. It doesn't come from, love. It comes from you. What makes you happy? I do things that might not make other people happy, people do things that make them happy, but don't make me happy, it's about you, but I'm not saying, if drinking makes you happy, that means you should do it. I'm saying things that make you happy, do things that make you happy but benefit you, things that make me happy that benefit me, reading the Bible, working out, spend time with my family, spend time with my grandma, spend time with my family, my friends, people like that, because I always thought happiness came from love. I always thought it came from my girlfriend. When she left me, I didn't feel happy, but I still came to school laughing, telling my friends jokes, but laughing with them, even though they knew something was wrong, knew something was up with me, I still put in the effort to try, because I was happy in that moment. When I got home, I had I had so many feelings going on, you know. I just wanted to lay in my bed and cry all night, you know. I just wanted to cry and just text her, say I miss you, you know. So yeah, but I didn't, you know what I did? I was happy, even though it was so hard, you know. I put on some music, you know, sang it off, you know, at the gym, prayed, you know. Even though every single part of my body was telling me, you know, I miss her, I just want to kill myself, I just want to cry, you know. But I pushed through. I'm doing much better now. I'm happier. Cause I just go home from the gym, my friends, you know. I'm probably about to shower in a couple of minutes, you know. But I'm happy, even though I'm alone. I'm alone right now, but I had a good day that God gave me, you know. And every day I'm working to my goals. I'm working to become a better person, you know. And chasing my goals make me happy, you know. My biggest goal is to retire my parents, and working toward that goal by making money, you know, by learning new stuff in school, you know, by learning how to day trade, you know. That's makes me happy because I know my goal is close. I'm getting closer to my goal every day. And you need to realize that working to your goal makes you happy, makes you feel meaningful, you know. And that's how you make yourself happy. Don't let other people don't depend on other people to show if you're happy or not, you know. You don't need them to show that you're happy. You just have to be happy. I know people are going through so much, you know. I probably don't understand what you're going through right now. You know, I can say I understand what you're going through, but I probably don't. And you're going through so much, but you need to give yourself some credit. You need to say how far you came. You know, I know you miss everything. I know you miss how it was in the past, but you can't change the past. Focus on your future and focus on how to be happy. It doesn't matter about how much money you make a year. It doesn't matter about any of that. Because if you're not happy, if you make all that money but you're not happy, what's the point of that money? You know, where's that money going to go to, you know? I promise you, there's so much out there. You have to find it for yourself. You have to stay happy. You have to be happy. Happiness comes from you. Don't let people define it for you, okay? And that's another thing. Just learn how to say no, you know, because you have so much time, but you shouldn't be wasting it, you know, doing things that you don't want to do that don't make you happy. Because because let's say you want Chipotle, but they want, you know, Burger King, you know, go get Chipotle because that makes you happy, okay? You learn how to say no, learn how to say, you know, I don't want this stuff, you know, I want to be somebody better, you know, I want to do things my way, you know. And that's okay, because that makes you happy. It's called sticking up for yourself. That's called, you know, staying strong. Because if you give in to everything, you know, you're just saying how much, you're just giving them power that they don't deserve, you know. Because you need to give someone credit, man. I'm sorry, but you need to stick up for yourself, you know. You have to find happiness in your own ways. I can't tell you how to be happy. I can't just tell you, you know, and you'll be happier, you know. You have to find it. You have to find how to be happy. Don't go asking AI, you know, go searching it up. Because that comes from other people. You don't want other people defining what makes you happy. Okay? Find it yourself. Okay. Good luck, man. Don't give up, alright? There's so much out there to explore. Don't give up.